What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about 𝗪. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So it is pushing a little bit lower, down 11.8%, 127 the low, 146 the high, and okay-ish volume. So 112 million shares being traded, 82 is the average. So good to see it's still maintaining above 100 million, but still nowhere near what it should be. Because when I did my first video on 𝗪, I said that everyone and their dog is kind of talking about it. It's a very big momentum play, and you're going to see that very nice spike as a byproduct. So we did see initially like just over 1 billion in volume, went up 49.09, but the fact that it only went to $1.81 kind of was not really that impressive. So I think a lot of people were rather disappointed by that, and of course whenever people are disappointed in a momentum stock, you rotate out. So that kind of what started the sell-off yesterday. So we only had 368 million, and then even more so today. So real question is this party done? In my opinion, and for those of you that kind of follow my channel, this is no BS. There's a lot of like influencers out there pumping this stock still like crazy. One thing that they're not saying is what their average is, and most likely their average is like 50 to 60 cents. So they have a little bit of wiggle room, but in my opinion, yes, this party is done for right now. Could it come back? Yes, just like any momentum play. Even with us getting a 25 basis point cut, we're starting to pull back because of some of the comments and fears associated to just the labor market. So in general, I think this is just more of a momentum play, and whenever you get kind of lower volume, you're at the mercy of just the kind of market taking it down. A lot of people initially did call this as a squeeze play, so it did go up a little bit. So when I first started covering it, I think it was like a 1% short interest, so I was outright saying nope, no, it's not a squeeze play. Since then, shorts have really doubled down, so about 10.96% at the free float is being shorted now, works to be 45.1 million shares overall being shorted. At the time of doing this video, shorts are increasing about 296,000, so nothing overly significant, but it looks like at the peak they were increasing around 8 million. So they are fairly active, but still not a squeeze play in my opinion, only because Bitcoin treasury, like it's going to follow Bitcoin, and even in that capacity it's lagging. So I think at the end of the day, it's like I said, there might be an opportunity down the line, but for right now, this party is kind of running out. And even you can see right here, there was the CEO, 𝗪𝗧𝗏, who was on Bloomberg. That didn't really help all that much, caused a little bit of a spike, but still nothing really was stated to incentivize new investors to get in. Looking at the options, 7.5 million in calls, 880,000 in puts, and then 42% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So even comparing it to the last couple of trading days, very low volume. So you did have 10 million that was on the 24th, 87 million, and then 29 million. So potentially a lot of those influencers just bought a lot of calls on the 24th. You can see a lot was done. So maybe that's how they kind of made a lot of money and bank, and they're just wanting it to continue to move higher. I'm not really sure. But ultimately, aside from that, though, from a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be above 150. So optimism has definitely gone down. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $1.50. So not much going on there. On the secondary market, only 5 transactions, 3 of which are sells, 2 buys. So big money is not really doing that much dealing with this stock. Most of it is linked to algorithmic trading. So I'll kind of go over that in a second. And then these are all the transactions on the dark pool above $100,000. So big money is not really using this at all. So kind of signals that hedge funds are kind of withdrawing and not really doing anything whatsoever. Aside from that, with it right now at 124, when I first covered my video before it even spiked, I said that most likely it's going to struggle a little bit with that 179. I figured given the momentum, it could kind of blow past that, but regrettably, it looks like this right here was that line in the sand. So unfortunately, until it does pass and break above this, it's going to be kind of in consolidation mode. So don't be surprised if we potentially retest that 59 cents for a low over the next, let's say, couple weeks, dependent on what does happen, right? There's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of big companies putting out their earnings that could potentially save the market, because right now we're kind of consolidating because of Powell's comments as well at the same time. But nonetheless, on the actual chart, things aren't really looking all that great. So it is wedge bound between currently that 200 and that 10-day moving average. So if it does break below that 10-day moving average, then anticipate a retest of that kind of low of maybe about 59 cents, which would be kind of crazy, but it is what it is. This is just a momentum play, and it's losing momentum. Even though it did have a lot of good opportunity, you can even see from the market position, all it needed was that nice little push just to get over roughly around that 160, and then it could like fly high like crazy. But I think moral of the story is it needs that catalyst. And even though the CEO did a interview today, I think it's a little too late. It should have been like immediately Monday. That's what momentum stocks need. You need a lot of good in-your-face type of action. If it's delayed, it's all for naught, regrettably. But you can see from the quote right here, you see algorithmic trading making up for a good chunk of the overall volume. No analyst ratings or anything, so analysts don't really pay attention to this stock whatsoever. So let me know your viewpoint on this stock. I know this might not be what a lot of people want to hear, but that's what my channel is all about, is giving you the full realistic viewpoint on what is hot, what's not, what the data points are truly saying. So in my opinion, I think that this is going to continue to consolidate, but as with any momentum stock, things could go change very, very fast, but I don't really see it being in these cards. So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're looking for some solid buy signals though, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.